that it's exactly what we need and all, because the way it came to us seemed sort of rushed and like, we got this thing and you need it, the best thing, go get it. And
We have not dealt with any other vendors, you're correct.
So that seemed to be the...
I thought the police department did. They went and looked at different ones that had the same thing.
Now we're talking about
we're talking about the kiosk.
Well, didn't we have somebody 4 or 5 years ago want to bring a
I
kiosk?
presented it, but it was from it's the same thing, the Jack Payment Kiosk. It's a different company, but it was the
I
same.
mean, it was real low key.
So I thought that back when I first brought this up, when I first got on council, so about a year ago, I thought we voted then, and we already had something, because even you asked the
But that's
question,
different.
what
That's a
payment,
different deal.
what's that for?
That's through Encode, and I'm having a world of hurt getting that even going.
But what is the difference? What does info do?
What the Encode app does is where they can set up automatic bank withdrawals. They can't do that right now.
Oh, that's a payment.
Yeah.
But this is a
Portal.
payment system.
Yeah.
This has both. This is both a physical thing and the payment.
Okay.
I got the impression it's almost like an ATM or something.
It is.
Punch in and
But have we
put
already
your
made a
card.
payment to info? That's all I'm asking.
No, we haven't made any payments to Encode.
But we're not under contract or anything?
I've got to talk to the attorney about it because this is dragging on too long.
So we,
And this
so
system
the
will
answer's
allow
yes.
you to do all that. This system will allow you to do all this stuff, but
And
what
that
we
is
got
not
now
part of
is
it.
just a payment kiosk.
Well,
But in the future, you could do that. I didn't know this before we talked to Encode.
but like, if we were going to do the kiosk, we would want to do that back-end system as well with it, right?
Yeah, I just gotta be sure we get out of the contract first with Encode.
Right.
I
So
thought-
that's why it seems to me that this is premature, I guess.
I thought Jack worked through Encode. I thought
No, Jack is its own thing, and they will take our Encode data and put it into there, and they mesh together.
They-
We already
But
we
we'd
already
still be
have
using
Encode as well, right?
Yeah, we already have
I
Encode.
know that we would continue to have Encode.
Oh, we would continue with Encode.
But the
But we
other
wouldn't use this
Encode,
module.
But the other Encode thing is just a payment system that we went forward with, and now we need to see if we can get out of it.
Let's see if
before
we can get out of it,
pay
because
for
they
this.
haven't done anything, and if they can, we can come back later with this and see about integrating it, you know?
it sounds like we do need to at least investigate, kind of like everything else. Is there another system out there that,
And that's fine.
I
if you don't
agree,
have anything better to do?
but I
you have
also
some
think that those
science
systems need to be as much as this Jack Senior, so that eventually it can go and encompass the police department,
Sure.
everything.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
Something that's-
Well, the deal we're talking about, it's still that you pay your tickets and stuff too.
We didn't set it up for
Not
the court
for us
side, we're
yet.
only setting it up right now, because you can add to it at any time. We were only setting it up to do this side, but it is, I understand, it is premature, but we just.
Gotta start somewhere.
Other one, I'll put this one on there too.
So the other thing I wanted to discuss is the concept of something coming out of the COVID money. What do you call it? Jordan?
Rescue Act.
Rescue Act, sorry. The Rescue Act money. So those funds did come those are restricted funds,
They're
right?
restricted,
So
yes.
they can only be spent on certain things.
Yes, sir.
However, when you're thinking of budget in black and red, and Marvin, I would challenge you to talk to Bill
That's who told us to do it.
and correct me, but even though it's restricted funds, it would have come in last year, right?
Came in 2 years ago.
Okay, so that would have shown up as a revenue in our financial statements, right, and no expense. So it would have went to fund balance and be sitting down there in our reserves, restricted reserve, but it's still a reserve. So now when we get ready to spend something out of that, even though it's coming from restricted reserves, it's still going to be an expenditure with no related revenue, and it's going to throw you further in the red. So
That's
that's,
the way he explained it, but you may be right.
well, and maybe You can ask him to call me.
Because we're already
It's-
spending it for the water plant. We got a serious problem with that.
That, well, it's just, that's how governmental accounting works. The revenues come in, they go to fund balance, and you get ready, you gotta spend it off fund balance, and it's gotta be a budgeted expenditure, even though it's restricted funds.
Well, I could run it by Bill, but he's the one that told us to set it up this way.
Yeah, and I'm not challenging the way it's set up, I'm just challenging the characterization that it's not gonna show us in the red, because I think it will. That's all.
I mean, it's gonna show us more in the red than
Yeah.
what it is.
Because we're gonna, anytime the city spends money, it has to be budgeted. I mean, it has to be budgeted and it shows up as an expenditure. So you can explain it away and say, well, this is revenue act money and blah, 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 but I think it still will show up.
So that's why we amend the budget every time something
Right.
surprises us.
Right,
That's
we
what
amend the
you're
budget
okay.
to, like the dollar donation money, we don't budget for that, but before we spend it, we do budget, because we
Okay.
amend the budget, you know, to allow for it. So it doesn't mean that's not a good use of the money, I think it's just the way we characterize it, and Marvin, I'm happy to just call him directly if you prefer that I do that, but. And then we can clarify, he can prove me wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
When we went to him, we said it's a one-time payment that comes in, it's controlled by the federal government, and
Yeah,
he said that this was the cleanest way to set it up.
Right.
Now, as far as it affecting all the government funds together,
right,
I see your point on that.
yeah, okay, and that's my only point. I'm not saying you're not doing it right, I'm just saying, it's still, anytime we spend money, it shows up as an expenditure, and otherwise it's off the books, right? And
Right.
we don't have stuff that's off the books.
No, sir, we don't. If we ever get the audit for this year, I'll know more how it did.
Is it late?
Oh, way late.
What's their excuse?
Well, part of it was Bill got sick,
Oh, okay.
and second of all, they have 10 gillion questions on everything, and we're running around here pulling all these old records for them, and
But this isn't, what year is it for this firm?
this is their second year with us.
Just the second year? Okay.
I'm seriously considering looking somewhere else, but I haven't got there yet.
The problem though, just, and I'm happy to consult with you, but year 1 and 2 is when you get more questions, and then you benefit from that in the remaining years.
Yeah,
So-
right in the ground.
So potentially, you would just be extending your payment